So we have iPads at Surf Coast. We don't really use Android technology. In the upper years, we have some other devices, whether they're PC or MacBooks. But for the Year 7 to 9 program, we use iPads, and most of the teachers now actually have iPads because we can. We've got Apple TVs attached to different interactive whiteboards and different televisions, so it's very easy for us to actually just flick up on screens what we're doing, which makes it very easy. So one of the things that we definitely use is a lot of cloud storage. So the one that we're using a lot of at the moment is Dropbox, and there's a good app on the iPad. So basically, as a teacher, I save something into the Dropbox, be it whatever computer I'm on, and in this case I think it's the Fuse Global Tracker that we gave the kids. But basically what happens is we save it into our Dropbox, but then we actually open it in another app, and there's a good selection there, but the one that we normally open out of Dropbox into is called Cloud On. Just the reason for that is it's actually like an Excel or a Word, or it's exactly an Excel and a Word, without actually paying for it. So opening into Cloud On, the only problem with it, you have to be networked, so you can't access this offline. It uses Dropbox, Google Drive, Box, and it's just accessing it out of those. So when you go in there, I think it'll open into my Dropbox. See all my work there, and just choosing one. I think I'm going to choose the Me and My Global Student Maths Tracker. So this is one that we gave the students through Dropbox. And the beauty of this is, of course, that all the formatting and everything works just as it would in Excel. So you can hear they've obviously been doing some questions. They have to do a bit of self-assessment. They have to tell us how many questions they got right. So if they put in 4, they got 100%, but if they put in something like 3, it'll actually come up as 75% and change colour. There's just some instruction in that. So we use it, but also we use it for the kids as well. So one of the ones that we use is our iTeam Teach in a maths class. So we use it as a record book. So Excel is my favourite little what do you call it, program to use, but you can see here we're actually using it to do some different types of data analysis when our pre and post testing for a unit. So we pre-test everything, post-test everything, and then we look at the effect size and the difference in what we've added to there. So that's Cloud On. That's probably what most teachers use on a daily basis. They've got iPads. We also, you've got a few other ones there. We have Pearson textbooks, and Pearson's done us a deal that we can have access to the 7, 8, 9, 10 maths textbooks. So we have access to all the teacher resources for each of those, which is really good. We also use lots of different kinds of apps, like with calculators, periodic tables, cells, those kind of things. A lot of presentation apps. We use Prezi, which is a web-based one, but then we can present using the iPad really easy. But one that we definitely use is Explain Everything in Edu Creations and Show Me. So they're ones that we can actually record what we are doing for the kids. So in Explain Everything, I think the one I'm going to show is that we made a little how-to guide for teachers and students to blog using their new blogger accounts, using an iPad app we've got called BlogPress. So we did that so we don't have to continually show teachers what to do. We basically record it once and then email a link out, and they need to actually follow that information. They can also give it to their kids as well. So I think that one goes for about 11 minutes, so we won't watch it all. But beauty of this one's Explain Everything, and you can you just take a screenshot of what you're doing, and then you can annotate, and you can voice over, and you can set it up so it looks just like a keynote, but it's a little movie, and it's one of the better apps that I use. also use things, this next one's just a really whiteboard one that you can record, which is called Edu Creations, which is another good one. Also use things like, what else do we use? Things like iBooks, and also things like this NetVibes. So NetVibes is really good because it's actually a program, well, it's a web-based thing, and all it is a place that we can collect all of our blogs in, and we put a feed in for that. So for the whole of Year 8, we're up to, I think, 63 Year 8s, so we can actually put feeds in for each of those, and when we want to access their work, it makes it very easy because it's all in the one place. Well, it does take a little bit to load tonight, so you can see we've got 8 A, B, C Fuse blogs. Their actual work's just loading at the moment. So it loads up and tells us what they've been posting. So you can see on Ethan's blog that he's already started his term 2, and he's got an E3 Pavana character profile that he's submitted, and we can actually look at his work and comment on it from NetVibes. And as I said, you don't need Mac or anything like that with NetVibes. It just looks quite nice when they've done it, so it looks good on a tablet just as it would look good on a computer. So as teachers, we use a lot of these apps, but we really have our favourites that we use, which are those cloud-ons, which is just like we do as a computer. One of the ones that I suppose we look at a little bit and the kids use a lot more than we do, although I'm using iMovie now, is things like iMovie or iTunes U or Nearpod. So we do have lots of others, but I'm just showing the best as such. We use a lot of iBooks. So the bookshelf we just went into is where the iBooks are kept, and we make the iBooks. We make them for ourselves, we make them for our kids, we make them for showing off other bits and pieces like this one that's just come up. But that's a critical part of how we use the iPads in the school. And that's probably about it. The other one that I haven't really talked much about is Evernote, and we use that for student conferencing. And also just taking notes on things, and that's because we can access it on an iPad and then our computer and then back on our iPad, and it will all update quite nicely. So that's probably about it from me.